Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the vidIQ live stream here on YouTube, where we audit your channels. As always, let's do this. vidIQ.com. Hello everybody, welcome to the vidIQ Tuesday live stream with your host with the most, Rob Wilson, educating you on your YouTube journey. Now, for some weird reason, the live chat is not working for me right now, so I'm going to bring in Jeremy Vest right now just to confirm that we are live and that you can see the chat because something strange is going on my technology. But here we are, folks. Let's hope that we are going live right now. Jeremy, say hello to the audience who we can't do shout-outs for some weird reason because the live stream is not working. The live stream chat is not working.
Hello, it's working for me, Rob, and
awesome.
I am watching us live right now, so I definitely see everything. And I will shout out because I'm so good at it.
Thank you very much, Jeremy.
Gararv Gaming.
That is so good. Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you. Gavel JC, K's Travels, hi to Lila and all of our moderators. You guys are amazing. Everyone, give some emojis for our amazing moderators every day, every week. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a children's celebration there. They do a fantastic job every single week, and we do always appreciate that. Sorry, folks, I can't do shout-outs for some reason this week. Sometimes Streamlabs just decides that it doesn't want to show me the chat. I'll try and get that set up on another screen when we get into the channel audit. So let me quickly introduce to you what we do here. Every Tuesday, we essentially take a look at anybody's channel who is visiting this live stream right now, and we give them advice, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, tips and tricks, advice, and that sort of thing. There is a form in the video description that takes you to a link where you fill out the form. It's three fields, very simple, and then you could be selected for an audit this week. Just to give you a quick breakdown of how all of this works every single week, we do not ask you to post in the live stream chat for your channel to be reviewed because, to be honest, Jeremy and myself are not looking at the live stream chat. I can't even see it for this week for some reason, so you will be ignored. You may be put in timeout. In the live stream chat, keep it constructive, talk about the channels that we're discussing live to help everybody in the community learn the best strategies, tips and tricks. Super chats, while very welcome, do not guarantee you a review because we don't want to create a financial barrier to these live streams. And apologies in advance if we cannot review your channel. Folks, I'm going to ask you in the live stream chat right now, how many people do you think have already submitted their form at their channel for the audits? I'll let you know in a few seconds, and I'll also offer that little competition to Jeremy as well. But just before we do all that, Jeremy, in case we cannot audit your channel this week, why should the viewers still watch this live stream?
Yeah, so watch this live stream as long as you can. And the reason for that is even though we will not get to most of your live streams, I'm guessing we already have 70 to 100 submissions, and we just can't do that many in an hour or two. But you're going to learn our formula of how we do live streams, what we look at, so you can do it yourself and your friends and your family from now on out.
All right, and while Jeremy was saying that, I've managed to just get a pop out of the live stream chat, so I'm going to say hello to the following people here. A little late here, but I did want to say hello to Backwards Land, Drawing for Beginners, Ismail Legend, Vending Machine Arts, Contractors POV, Andy Triple HDX, Wiki Pamela, Victor the Yamper, Optizer, Lie, Glow, Kid, WG2, all of you, and you're all actually posting how many people you think are in the submission form right now. And I can tell you the answer right now, people submitted their channels for review, is 109. And that is not uncommon. We get all sorts of requests every single week, and we do really appreciate that. One thing I want to talk about as well, just before we get into the channel audits, which we will do almost immediately, is that if you do not get your channel audited, vidIQ does have an awesome tool that does that kind of thing for you 24/7. Down the left-hand side here, there is a channel audit button. if you have vidIQ installed. I click on that, and boom, it gives you a thorough scorecard of all of the things that are happening on your channel. A channel snapshot, the things that you're doing right on your channel right now, breaking it down into categories such as views per hour, subscribers gain, what even your competitors are up to if you've added them on the vidIQ competitors tool, top average watch time, all sorts of fantastic stuff that are going to help you disseminate the best content for your channel and work on those videos rather than the ones that aren't doing as well. We've also got information on which ones are getting the lowest audience retention, lowest views. Ironically, our live stream says it has 0 views right now, but that's because I clicked on this card before we went live. And also we show stuff such as where are your top search terms, what are people looking for and finding your channel as a result. And at the very bottom, I always love this bit, which tells me that I have 2 videos that are not currently in playlist, and I always forget to fix them. But this scorecard will tell me which ones to fix almost immediately. So that is your channel audit tool, what Jeremy and I like to call the most powerful marketing tool on YouTube right now, as it just gives you so much instant information. And yes, we are going to start auditing your channels now. The answer to the question is how many channels do we have for submission is now gone up to 115, and we'll try and get through as many as possible, which means that I'm now going to start pressing some buttons, which means that Jeremy can see my screen. Jeremy, confirm that you can see my screen.
Yep.
You can. I just need to quickly get Travis off of the screen here so that it is you who's on
I look
there.
really good today.
You do. You look savage today. Let me just get rid of it. There we are. Jeremy is on screen now. So I'm going to press the audit button, which means that we're going to transition into looking at channels, which you have submitted for vidIQ channel audits. And Jeremy, we're going to start with what we're probably neither familiar with, but we can talk about in terms of strategy and how it looks to the average visitor to the channel. And that is Johan Z cubing. Congratulations, by the way, on just hitting 300 subscribers. Jeremy, what do you think of this channel? What's it about? Seems pretty clear to me, but let's just check it on your end.
That's awesome. Before I say, I want to have a shout out to Evan Carmichael.
Evan's in the house. Hello.
Friend of vidIQ. We appreciate you. And Sam Louderback, the famous Sam Louderback, is also in the house. And I think this channel is about Rubik's Cubes.
I think you might be right. It's pretty clear. I would say it does what it says on the tin, but in this case, it does what it says on the cubes. And what do we think about the thumbnails and like the strategy? Is it like there's a focus there? And what are the good things that are going on this channel?
I don't know yet. Could you sort by most viewed? And for those of you at home watching along, the reason I'm sorting by most viewed is I want to see what has worked the best. I want to look at the titles and the actual thumbnails of what's worked the best. It's interesting to me that a yellow background was the 4th most viewed video. And a giveaway was the 1st. And it makes a lot of sense, right? Because people want stuff for free. So it makes sense that people would click on the word giveaway. So I'm looking here to see if there's something in these thumbnails in the top 10 videos that look better than, or give someone a reason to click more than anyone else. I'm looking at the titles to see if it answers questions people are asking about Rubik's Cubes. And that's really what I'm looking at here. All in all, I would say that I would make the Rubik's Cubes a lot larger and I would have a lot less text. I would also go ahead.
I was just going to ask, would you say that this the second most viewed video? I really like this thumbnail in the terms of it's relatively simple. Yeah, there's a lot of objects on screen, but they all kind of relate to the idea of we have lots of cubes here, but all of those could equal this one simple cube on the right hand side. Almost like not quite a before and after.
I like it a lot, actually. That's my favorite thumbnail by far. Yeah. I don't like the white text because you can't really read it that small. But yeah, the actual thumbnail, I wonder if taking off all the text, keeping the equal signs would do just as well. And if all of those Rubik's Cubes on the left and right were 30 to 40% bigger, would it even do better?
And What about the title here? It's like I like titles where it has a kind of a lead. It's leading the viewer in a certain direction, and often how that has helped is through a question. In this case, how many cubes can you buy for the price of one GAN X? Presumably that's the type of cube on the right-hand side.
The only thing about this particular title, I love asking questions. I love keeping it interactive in the title, but not using the word Rubik's is probably taking most of the search intent. So I wonder how many views this could have got if you used Rubik's cubes instead of just cubes.
And I guess another thing that might be helpful is you've kind of already given the answer. Like the title asks the question and the thumbnail answers it. You could almost maybe silhouette these objects out and maybe put a question mark there equals one of them. That might be a bit of a more teasing way of getting the viewer to click on the video. But generally speaking, Jeremy, here, I'm looking at a channel with 300 subscribers. They haven't created that many videos. They've been around for 4 months, and we can see, about 20, 25 videos here. And each of the videos is getting a similar view count to the subscriber count, which I think is always a very good sign.
It's great.
Very strong. It looks as if you're building up a nice community here with your content, Johan. And I think in terms of the focus you have, it's all leading in the right direction, isn't it, Jeremy? I think we're at this point where we're saying to this channel, you're doing pretty much most of the important things right. It's just improving that 1% with every single video, whether it be that changing the titles a little bit, just tweaking the thumbnails here and there, which is going to lead to more success for this channel.
Yeah, and the two things, I would take off a lot of the text, make your Rubik's Cubes larger, experiment with background colors on your thumbnails, and make sure that your titles use the search intent of what people are actually searching for about Rubik's Cubes. I think if you do the search intent in the titles, keep the intrigue and interest that you have in your titles, asking questions and things like that, and just up your thumbnail game, I think you will triple your daily basically views and subscribers and things like that.
I'm just wondering if cubing was the search term maybe, or the classic Rubik's might be more powerful. The reason I cite is because this video that's literally a day old already has nearly 300 views, which I think is really strong for the channel. And because it's kind of like a listicle as well as including cubing in there. And it's like starting a cubing channel. So that's a really niche topic, but it's doing well already for the channel. I think, Johan, just take our advice on board. Just start to inject those ideas into your videos going forward, and good luck with your channel, because I see some real promising growth there. I do have my next channel notification bell already in hand, so let's move on to the next one, which is Gerrit D. This channel has 23 subscribers. You are a month old. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the journey that consumes all of us 24/7. I hope you are enjoying it. Jeremy, my first question to you is basically going to be, what is this channel about and who is it for?
Trying to work that out.
When you ask with that kind of suggests to me that maybe the messaging on this channel isn't quite there yet.
I thought for sure it was about home improvement or building something.
Yeah.
But then I see quit smoking and cheap microphones and what kills your batteries. So obviously the first thing I want to say is congratulations for getting on YouTube. That's a huge step, a big step that a lot of people in the world never take. So congratulations for actually getting on the platform, getting your videos up, uploading them, turning on the camera. That is huge. You know, a lot of people watching right now, you may have not even ever made or uploaded your first video to YouTube. Don't be afraid. Just turn on the camera, upload, and get 1% better every week. So as you're learning what you want to do when you grow up, what we're going to do is we're going to sort by most viewed.
Okay, I was just having a quick look at the description. Build it, break it, fix it, I think was the brief channel description. I wonder how much we're going to get out of sorting by most popular here. Okay, so it looks as if the most popular videos are almost more like bloggy style content as opposed to the actual fixing DIY stuff, I would say, but a small sample size to begin with, though.
So this is a great period to be in. You're trying
Yeah.
you're uploading videos. That's amazing. You're trying to learn what's working. So my advice to you would be to try to keep upping your thumbnail game and keep learning what's working for you. Match your passion of fixing, breaking, and building stuff with the intent of search. So Rob, let's figure out so changing a small window in a light box. So let's think about fixing something. In fact, I don't really see anything they're fixing yet.
That's fix success so far, yeah. Just as you were talking, Jeremy, I kind of underlined all the V's, and I wanted to emphasize that at the moment, I think for this video creator, none of this matters, does it? The views per se, unless there's something really strange that goes on, that they have a viral video of some kind where they get thousands of views, or they have a video that gets 1 or 2 views. As long as this is fairly stable, the view counts, I think you're absolutely right in terms of just experimenting and finding what works for you and what doesn't work for you. This one about going cold turkey with not smoking, congratulations on that, of course, as well. Are you getting a lot more engagement from that video? It's like of a more likes versus the other ones, and it seems as if that is the case. Are you getting more comments? And I think that's what's gonna help drive you as well going forward. Yeah, in terms of like what is being fixed there or what's been broken, we're not really seeing that yet, are we? I mean, sometimes we see setting up Windows PC for free with open source software. That's a bit techie, and then something about what kills your batteries. I think the video creators just experimenting with answering their own questions almost at this point. Like it's something that comes into their head and think, oh, I'd like to answer that, so I'm going to make a video on it. Not necessarily what a potential audience is asking. But yeah, we think that's fine, Jeremy, isn't it, at the moment? We think it's going to take maybe 25, 50 videos to get to a point where the video creator thinks, my audience really like that particular video on that particular topic. Maybe I want to pivot there and do the research and drill down into that topic more.
Yeah, and it's okay to experiment. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Even though we're hardcore and we're focused on helping creators get better, there is a process in life. You know, I used to work with a really famous creator, and when I started working with her and her dad, she was like 14, and now she's in college. And her, even though she's still, million plus subscribers and a famous YouTuber, her life and her channel has had to change like 5 times, because a 14-year-old has a different life than someone in college, than someone going out of college and then getting married. So the progression of a channel is fine. There's obviously going to be people that don't care about quitting smoking, that do want to learn how to build, fix, or break something. So you ultimately, I would focus in one direction and one direction only on this channel.
And that is Gerrit D. Good luck with the rest of your channel. Folks, I just want to quickly mention, if you are enjoying this live stream, let us know in the Livestream Chat via the form of an emoji. And of course, like this video if you're finding it useful. All right, Jeremy, the next one I'm going to go for, I've gone back to the main screen here because I want to try and give it a bit of a dramatic lead in here. I think we're always trying to find channels that do something completely different on YouTube. And I think I may have found one here, which is Backwards Land. Fun videos played backwards. Now, I think in order to appreciate what's going on here, Jeremy, I'm actually going to have to very quickly play one of these videos to give you an idea of what this is about. So I'm going to play this random video. I'm going to mute it as well, just so that we can see what's visually going on here. With this firework that seems to be going, ooh, what's happening to this smoke? Oh, it's going back. Oh, there's lights and effects and smoke everywhere, and it's all almost like visual ASMR in a weird and wonderful new format. So that's just quickly to introduce this channel. It only has 3 subscribers so far. So a channel with a unique, fun idea, 3 months old. Jeremy, what do you think of the idea, first of all? And then we'll talk about the channel in general.
Believe it or not, I know you're going to believe this because YouTube is weird.
Yeah.
Reversed ASMR is a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a big thing. And there is a video right now. The first term for reverse ASMR has 920,000 views.
So let me just do it. So is the actual search term reverse ASMR?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I'm going to type. Yeah, there we go, folks. Reverse ASMR. So let's just have a quick look there. So it is already a type of a thing here on YouTube, which is interesting. And this channel is going to focus on it. But I guess this is probably a good place to start, isn't it? Because if we look at all of these thumbnails and see how focused and how detailed they are on a particular object, then that's probably what this video creator wants to duplicate to a certain extent on their channel as we're looking at a channel here.
Yeah, so ASMR, I've definitely explored this. It's weird to me. I have a right to my own opinion. And my 15-year-old daughter sometimes just watches people cut soap. Soap cutting ASMR is like billions of views. It's a thing. I don't get it. I'm old though. But really study ASMR, study what people are doing in reverse in ASMR, and focus in on one specific type of ASMR.
Right.
See what happens. On my channel, I goofed off a few months ago and had a few skateboarding ASMR videos, and some of them got like 15, 17,000 views, so it's definitely a huge category of videos. And I think that if you took all your fun, silly video ideas and you really focused in on this niche, that you would do quite well. And the only other thing I would say is just try to up your video thumbnail game a little bit, make them less complicated.
Now, here's a controversial idea that I'm going to come up with that Jeremy is probably going to rebuke here. I'm wondering, does the hero, the character, the person who's making these videos need to be in the thumbnails? Because unless that person is actually doing actions in reverse, is it more important to show a particular object in its state of reversal? Just as an example here, this one here, it says what, and there's loads of stuff on the floor. I'm not really sure what to focus my eyes on. We've got the close-up of the creator, then a smaller picture of the creator, and then some random items on the floor. And that just makes things very, very confusing. So what is the hero of the thumbnails? I'm going to argue, Jeremy, that the creator themselves is not. Discuss, refute, counterpoint.
Unfortunately, I 100% agree with you.
Yes! Victory.
So, like Rob said, the hero should be what the video is about. A lot of the times, if you feel like you need to do character building and you're part of the scene, then you should always be at least at minimum secondary in the thumbnail. But for example, the Yum Tasty Breakfast backwards pancakes, I believe, should be like 80% of the screen, and then you're in the background of that. But if you're not even in the video, if it's just your arms or you eating pancakes, then you don't even have to be in the thumbnail in this case. If this channel is your name and it's about you and you are the hero, then you need to be in all the thumbnails. If this is about cutting soap ASMR, then the soap is the hero.
Final thing I would say, Backwardlands, is you might want to experiment just with other social media platforms, maybe TikTok, Instagram stories, YouTube stories, where you're doing like individual backwards clips to test. Because I think this can work on YouTube, but I think there's also opportunities on other platforms as well. And folks, just mark the time here in the calendar. It was 8:24. And Jeremy agreed with me on something. That is a first here on this live stream. We'll move on to the next channel, which is simply called Alex. And as I very quickly review this one, it has over 300 subscribers. Congratulations to you on that. And it seems to be a tech channel. Now, I think, Jeremy, translate this just before we went live to make sure that we could have a look at the titles. But the one thing I'm noticing here, I think, is probably if I sort by most popular, I think there's a very particular type of content that is doing better than anything else. And yes, I'm now having it confirmed, even though the language has changed again. What do all of the videos in the top here have? What is a common theme? I'm asking the audience, and I'm also asking Jeremy, what can you see here?
Smartphones?
TikTok. Yeah, but I'm thinking more of the, like, what type of video. Like, smartphones is a topic, but it's a style of content. And if you look at the titles, that might be a giveaway.
Oh, top 10.
There we go. Listicles.
Listicles,
If you've noticed, all of the top performing videos on this channel are all listicles of some kind. And from what I can remember, it was like the top 5 apps of July, or the top 5 sporting apps on Android, that type of thing. Let me just translate this page again to give us a bit of a hand here. Top 5 games in April, top 5 games in May, that type of thing. So, Jeremy, I think there's a clear strategy here that this channel probably wants to approach, is that maybe get rid of these ones such as how to change folder icons on Mac, because it's maybe a little too specific and a little too detached from what people are relating to most, which is, I want to know what the best things are on iOS or Android for a given month. Give that to me. That's kind of what the audience seems to be asking for.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And a little side note here, if you create a blog post on a blog for every one of these videos, basically, if you've ever seen, it's called a rich snippet, but if you've ever seen just like a 1 through 10 list showing up in Google of how to do something, or what the top 5 smartphones are, that is because for some reason Google likes listicles and to show listicles more than they do for other things. So
I was just trying that now and it didn't work, damn it.
type in how to get more views on YouTube.
All right, I'm going to type in as fast as I can, folks.
So scroll down. Of course, it's not showing up today. Now that is a rich snippet as well. Yeah. But so YouTube answers questions in many ways. And if you embed these videos and make blog posts out of them, you have a higher probability of showing up all over the web.
I think what we're basically saying is, you've probably seen it, folks. I've seen it. Jeremy's seen it, where you have at the top of a Google search some sort of listicle format, which can give you even more external views coming into YouTube for your content. Thumbnail wise, anything really to suggest here? There's some sort of, I think there's both consistency and a lack of consistency here, Jeremy, with the logo in the top right hand corner. Similar themes in some of these, but then the colors quite contrast quite a bit between videos. Would you be? But there are like the classic arrow thing pointing to something, which you in your own talk recently at VidCon told us that it can have quite an effect, and generally sort of a lot of fundamental things going right with this channel. Any small tweaks here?
All in all, the thumbnails are phenomenal individually, but together, I feel like it lacks branding.
Right.
So yeah. I think that if you kept to one color background and one general theme, I think that your click-through rates will go through the roof. And the reason for that is, if I look at any of these individual thumbnails, I'm going to think that they're like 10 different channels. But if they all had similarities and they all look like the same brand, then as someone that loves your channel, could keep on going back to your videos.
I certainly think these thumbnails have enough consistency with that central font style, like the icons in the background are all good and pretty similar. But yeah, it's when we get to ones like this and this one over here and that one over here there, that's where the branding sort of falls up, the consistency falls apart a bit. But generally speaking, Alex, I think you're doing the right things here. Sorry, Jerry, go on.
Yeah, and maybe not have so many different things in your banner. Just focus on top 10 phones.
The wording you're meaning here, like the value proposition needs to be a bit less. Ironically enough, the value proposition needs to be less listicle and more eye-catching and snazzy. Whereas the videos themselves do need to retain that listicle style. Alex, that is your channel audit. We'll move on now, and I'm going to ask Jeremy in the very first 10 seconds of this channel audit, what is this channel about?
No idea.
And why are you saying that?
Well, because I see dudes with swords, dudes with guns, football, gaming-looking stuff, Patrick from SpongeBob. I don't know what's happening.
I love how you describe a channel. It's got dudes with swords, dudes with guns. There's just dudes everywhere on his channel. Okay, yeah, you're exactly right, Jeremy. You enforced my point here. As I first visited the channel, I can tell that these dudes are from games, and then I thought they might be talking about sports games here with the American football chaps. But then you look at the actual video content, and then there seems to be what looks to be highlight reels for particular players in the NFL. And then, as you say, there's this one about Robert Downey Jr. and SpongeBob SquarePants, and then something about recasting The Witcher TV. So we've got memes, we've got American football, we've got Netflix television, 3 different topics and just those random ones that I've picked on. And also, I'm going to play a very quick bit of content here, and hopefully we don't get dinged for this, Jeremy, but what is wrong?
Montgomery, and when you're watching...
yeah, immediately turn that off.
Yeah, so why am I saying immediately turn this off?
Because basically anything to do with American football is very, very copyrighted.
Yes, so this channel is using what looks to be copyrighted content from sports channels. And I think you put in one of the descriptions, all credit goes to ESPN Sports or something. And that is not going to fly in the face of a copyright claim or anything. You can't just use somebody else's content and credit them and feel and assume that's okay. So be really careful with that type of content you're putting together. Even if you are getting clips from many different sources and putting together a compilation, at very worst, that's still considered reused content by YouTube, and you wouldn't really, strictly speaking, be able to monetize that. So we got maybe questions of channel focus here, potential issues with copyright. With all that being said, Jeremy, some of the videos are getting views for a channel with 500 subscribers. One's here with like 2,000 views, 5,000 views. Maybe they just need to channel those topics, those titles and those thumbnails and create original content off that, which is going to be more valuable to the creator themselves and in the long run, the audience that they're trying to serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Just try to do things without copyright. Because if your whole channel goes down, you put in a lot of work for nothing.
All right, Zinc Aspect. So I forgot to mention your name as we moved into this channel audit, but hopefully some useful advice there. Moving on to Internet Explored, a channel with almost 800 subscribers. Welcome to the internet. What is this channel about? Something about Morgs being kidnapped by himself, favorite fact account on Instagram, WikiHow, the new 5-minute channels is a bad idea. How would you categorize this channel, Jeremy? I'm always really terrible at trying to...
I would categorize this as a Shane Dawson style channel.
Okay.
Like a news-ish style channel.
Yeah. Not quite conspiracy theories and whatnot, but reporting on what's going on in the weird and wonderful world of social media and the internet at large.
And I find it very intriguing that there's a whole genre of really crappy how-to channels, like it's like Loom Loom or Tum Tum, I forgot what it is, and 5-minute crafts. There's a lot of craft channels that are absolutely horrible, and this kid is calling them out. I like that. I think it's very interesting. I think, learning from YouTubers like Shane Dawson is very intelligent, and Mr. Beast, calling out media, calling out people that are doing things that are not good content. There's this whole concept of basically large companies they call it content farming or video farming, and they just get very low budget videos made done quickly, and some of these channels have 10-20 million subscribers and the content's horrible. And I think that there is a whole genre of people calling out this bad content. It's very interesting, but there's a lot of views and a lot of channels blowing up just by being the person that's talking about this.
Interesting. 2 of the most popular videos, actually. We've got this one about the 5-minute channels and how they're bad, and then also this one I think, which is kind of a parody of that, like the life hacks that these craft channels are doing, which are completely unusable. And both of these videos are some of the most popular on the channel. So I think there's almost like a niche topic that this creator can go into. We're seeing some good fundamentals here. The video creator is on screen as a hero, but they're also giving enough room to talk about the topic that they want to focus on in the videos, which I think is pretty effective. Something that's really interesting here, Jeremy, I noticed this one here. Using only fake AirPods for a week, 1,500 views, part 1. Then, 3 months after that, using only fake AirPods for a week, part 2. So the title is exactly the same, and the second video is done far worse than the first one. And I think that's a good representation of where you shouldn't really be that obvious or transparent with when you're doing parts on videos in different videos, because there's always that expectation from the viewer that if they see the part 2 first, they're not going to watch it because they assume they need to watch part 1. And so I think that was an interesting little thing there. Also, the gap between the videos probably didn't help there. You'd want to be seeing part 2 a couple of days after part 1. And I just, in general, it looks as if you're a young video creator, so you've probably got school and that type of thing to look at. You've not created that many videos in the last couple of months, and you were starting to build momentum. It looked like 4 or 5 months ago. So is creating these videos just a difficult thing to do? Can you get to a more regular schedule? Back to school is certainly something that you maybe wanted to look at, especially with craft videos. I'm sure they're doing lots of back to school type of craft content at the moment. You could capitalize on that. But I think, Jeremy, this channel has got potential. They just need to seize the opportunity and create more content. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And as you're growing and doing more content, just try to have more branding and really use like a thumbnail template concept where the background's the same color every time and people know it's your content. Personally, if I were you, I would go all in for the next 20 or 30 videos you do on calling out bad tutorials.
Yeah.
It seems like that's a good niche right now. My youngest daughter watches these all the time, and some of these videos have millions and millions of views. So it's definitely a big interest on YouTube right now of people making fun of bad tutorial videos.
You can almost do like a reaction video to one of the craft videos that's really popular, like a few days after it goes live, and it's like a really popular one, and then almost take it apart piece by piece, as long as there are legitimate arguments and questions about those particular videos. But yeah, get back on YouTube, Internet Explored, as soon as you can.
A lot of people are actually doing the crafts side by side. Yeah. And it never looks halfway as good. So that's another take.
There you go. All right, I'm going to go on to the next channel here, which is Magdalena Helen. I think this is one of our moderators here on vidIQ. And I think you've submitted your channel several times, so we're not just picking this one because they are a moderator. They've been submitted several times, and it's a music channel, which we try and look at one a week. And I just noticed in the chat, Magdalena, that you're at least in Leeds. I'm originally from Huddersfield, so A up there. Right, Jeremy, let's get back on topic here. We have a channel that does music covers and originals every week. They have 150 plus subscribers, have been on YouTube for 3 months. And what can we pick out here that the channel could potentially improve upon?
I will say that your thumbnails are phenomenal in general. So the size of your face, the excitement, emotion, expression, eyes, very, very good. You can see, it's very interesting. You can see the progression of her thumbnails. Look at the beginning one. And there's too much text. Her face wasn't big enough. You really couldn't see expression, eyes, excitement, emotion. And then you go up to, she's using the green screen to actually, start adding things like thunder. And yeah, I would say just keep on going with your thumbnails. The last few are phenomenal. My favorite one is actually the nightmare cover, just because it's interesting and more. So instead of just smiling, try to give someone a reason to click. So find more intrigue. but phenomenal thumbnails all in all. The biggest area, in my opinion, of opportunity you have is to get better titles. So let's look at this Hazley Nightmare Violin cover. Do me a favor and type in Hazley cover.
Yes, sir. If I can spell it right. Okay. Done.
Actually, sorry, Hazley Nightmare cover. My bad.
Sorry. Right, okay. Oh, I see. So on that's actually part of the background of the actual song, which is cool as well.
And do you see how the actual song, how much expression, eyes, excitement she has in that? You may even want to like go closer to like just the chaotic type of thumbnail that is there. But I do see how you match that thumbnail, and it's very, very interesting. So the biggest thing I would say is on your titles, you just got to make sure that you're answering the questions people are asking. Can you go back to your channel real quick?
Sure.
So Hazley Nightmare Violin cover. That's a great title. I wonder if you could do something like best Hazley Nightmare Violin
and
cover.
Maybe having cover separate from violin cover. I'm just wondering if violin cover specifically is reducing the search intent too much. I think you could still have violin instrumental, maybe. So it might be like Hazley Nightmare cover, violin edition or something. Do you know what I mean, Jeremy?
I do.
That might be more effective. I mean, test it by all means, Helen, for that. But yeah, you're thinking of the idea of adding like an adjective to sort of emphasize it, whether it's the best or the longest or the shortest, that type of thing, to give the title a bit more. So you've got the search intent, but you also want to give a viewer a reason to click, and that's where you kind of do that sort of thing, isn't it?
And with the size of the channel right now, the more text in the title, the better.
Right.
Eventually, Hazley Nightmare cover violin edition would be just fine. But right now, as you're growing, you just need more opportunities people to find you with longer tail search phrases. Use the vidIQ tool to make sure that we are showing you all of the search phrases available.
And the final thing I noticed here, I think, Helen, was we did a video recently about K-pop, BTS, and it looks as if you're just trying to pick up on that lot of trend as well by doing unique, I guess, violin covers there. I think generally speaking, you want to be doing cover versions of the latest trends and music that's coming out now, rather than potentially classics until you've built up an audience and then you're starting to get requests. And that seems to be a fairly good strategy as well. Thoughts on Ed Sheeran, Jeremy? Are you a big fan of his?
Who?
And we'll move on to the next channel, Us Crazy Christians. So I'm choosing this channel as one whereby I don't want to describe this as a sensitive channel, but YouTube is taking, I guess, a fresh approach on channels which may have a particular, I don't know if agenda is the right word, or point of view or philosophy that maybe YouTube is worried about kind of influences viewers to a point where they get not accusations, but the flat earth theory and all that type of thing, where it's almost like recommendations kind of appointing viewers in a particular area. And this channel seems to be one that's uncovering the myths and trying to explain misinterpretations correctly on Christianity, Jeremy. And I was just wondering what your thoughts are on this type of channel and area and where that sits in YouTube right now.
I think in general there are a ton of very large Christian and Muslim and Hindu channels. I think it's all fine. I do think kind of like kids content that there's going to be hyper focus on specific keywords and visuals. So, who knows what those are, but I do think that it's possible to be flagged easier in these conversations.
Yeah. And then so that being said, if we look at the thumbnails and the titles, do you think that this channel is going to be fine with that type of thing? I know, and we're only giving our own opinions here. This is not like what YouTube is definitely going to do. But do you think this is staying on the right side of the conversation here, or do you think there might be things to worry about a little here? I mean, just looking at the channel, basically, 500 subscribers, and each of the videos are getting quite a lot of views. And I also noticed this as well, Jeremy. I was looking at the from our vidIQ tool, the likes and dislikes ratio. They are very high likes and dislikes ratio, like 100% most of the time. Every single video is more than 95%. So the people who are watching this content absolutely love it as well.
I think, in general, that having the face bigger and having... Can you do me a favor? Can you go to a channel called I Am Second? I want to show you, to me, the best thumbnails in Christianity right now. Let's go ahead and click on that. Yeah, click on the videos tab.
Yep.
Now, these are simple, but they're effective. Like the godless one there on the top row. They're just stark. One of the things we found in our... I just spoke at VidCon on thumbnails recently, and vidIQ, we found some data that black thumbnails actually perform quite well. And it's because they're usually, your competitors don't use black backgrounds, and they're just intense. And when you're thinking like Christianity, a lot of times you're thinking about pretty intense subjects.
Yeah.
So this black and white, they used to just have white backgrounds. Now they went to black, but you can see it's just kind of like serious and intense. And very stark and just kind of elegant. So I think to convey emotions more, to really get people to click on your thumbnails that are struggling or asking questions about the Bible, you should try to find a design that's not playful, right? Because right now it's got like the 90s color palette. And it feels like I'm about to put my parachute pants on. I'm just kidding. But I would make it more emotionally conveyed. So if I'm asking a question, if I'm going to lose my whatever, then I want to click on a thumbnail that reflects that emotional thing. Does that make any sense, Rob?
It does. I guess the counter argument could be that the video creators, that is exactly what the video creator doesn't want to do, and they're trying to go on a different path which has a bit more vibrancy and color to it too, because I feel as if
to make it not serious, right?
Yeah, potentially to make it not serious, purposely to try and make this channel, hey, look, we are a channel, a Christian religion channel, but we want to provide you with an alternative viewpoint, something different to what you may be used to on YouTube. So I think there's arguments for both sides of this. But I think you are right in that at the moment there is a bit of what we sometimes call rainbow vomit. The colours are maybe a bit too bright and garish, and it's almost like you're picking up a square image and putting it on the thumbnail. It maybe needs to be tweaked a little bit and have a bit more style to it. But yeah, it's certainly an interesting channel, interesting topic on YouTube right now. And I think the channel, generally speaking, is going... I mean, in terms of the engagement and the view counts, they seem very strong in every video. You've not had a viral moment yet either. Each of the videos has just been standing on its own feet and performing well. So yeah, us Crazy Christians, an interesting channel there, and we do wish you luck with your future endeavors. We're going to move on now to what I'm now going to talk about, Wrestling Corner. Jeremy, I guess you may want to take a bit of a break here, comment on the thumbnails and that type of thing. But this is the first one, the Squared Circle Psychobabble. That is a channel name and a half. You got over 5,000 subscribers. Congratulations on that. Looks as if you have some very healthy numbers here with views in the thousands for most. And the thumbnails are very strong. It looks like you're taking images from where you can get them off the internet. Just be a little careful with that in terms of copyright. But you're very up to date with your content, posting it very frequently. And wrestling is a type of form of entertainment which is changing constantly. There's all sorts of news stories going on all of the time, and you seem to be jumping on each of those topics very quickly to good effect. Very high engagement rate. I can't really see anything too much wrong with this channel. You're using the community tab on a regular basis, very regular basis as well, which is good. Jeremy, anything to really add about the thumbnails? I guess there's maybe a little bit too much text in some of these, and there's the branding and consistency questions, but yeah, any general thoughts?
Yeah, I would just say make sure that any thumbnail you have looks like your channel, your thumbnail, your brand.
Yeah, they're a little generic, aren't they, in terms of the wrestling thumbnails, not necessarily squared circle, psychobabble wrestling thumbnails.
Every single one of these thumbnails looks like a different channel to me.
Right. Okay, so consistency maybe a little bit there on that. And I'm going to move quickly on there. It's a fantastic channel. Seems like you're doing really well. And then I just want to give you a sort of an alternative view of the wrestling genre here with Burn It Down. This channel has 11,000 subscribers. And the difference between what you just saw there, Jeremy, is that it was a channel about wrestling stories, but this channel is about a particular wrestling video game and reenacting the things that are going on in wrestling in video game format. So, I mean, we were almost breaking the fourth wall here. We are playing a video game, so we're doing fake matches of fake wrestling. Wow.
Wait, are you saying wrestling's not real?
Oh, my word. Oh, I just said it, sorry.
It's like saying Santa Claus isn't real. What's happening
Whoa, there's lots of revelations going on here in the live stream today. But this channel, it seems to be absolutely crushing it as well. 11,000 subscribers. Most of the videos are getting in the 2,000 to 5,000s. Occasionally ones with 123,000 views, which is fantastic. Jeremy, I would ask you here, again, do we have maybe a question of consistency, branding? It seems like there's a little bit more consistency here. They are using a lot of, I guess, copyrighted logos of things, and this is rife in the wrestling YouTube area. I've seen a lot of other channels doing this. But yeah, any general thoughts here on what's going on the channel?
All in all, I absolutely love it. I love the design. You know, the kind of blue and red background. If you just stuck to one background all of the time, I would say it's near perfect. It's very well done.
It does change a little bit because depending on what wrestling event is going on right now, the colors are going to change a little bit. But yeah, you're generally approving here.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if they could do a better job with the titles. I'll leave that to you.
It seems generally good. They're always including the video game at the beginning and then the wrestling characters. And what they're also doing, Jeremy, is like all of these matches are going to be happening very soon, like in the next month at a particular wrestling event. So those are like going to be trending keywords going on right now, so I think it's good to follow that. The one thing I'm going to say about this channel is, which is really interesting, let me just click on a random video. We're going to choose this one, which has got 123,000 views, and look at the engagement. It's got 1,000 likes, which I would say is on the relatively low side, but look at how many comments it's got, 45. So very low potential engagement, and I'm just wondering how you could potentially improve that in your videos, because Jeremy, another thing I need to say is the video creator doesn't actually narrate in these games. They are literally just playing the game and letting all the sound effects and things go on through the games itself. So I'm just wondering if long-term the video creator is going to have to inject a bit more personality, maybe start narrating perhaps on camera, or just do lower thirds here and there, which ask questions during the video that's going on, just to try and increase engagement there. It's a bit of a fine line, because I think the viewers are really getting into this because they're getting exactly what they need and there's no fluff, but he's not building like a committed audience. He's getting a lot of views, but maybe not building a community behind it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Jeremy has done with wrestling for this week, so we'll move on to ChopsYT. Jeremy, I have just ruined my vocal cords after those two channels, so I'll let you lead with this one. What are we looking at here?
I think we actually did this a couple of weeks ago. We did this one.
You're getting deja vu. Okay,
we did. Yeah, I know we did.
I cannot remember this one. I must have confessed.
Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry, we didn't, but he did email me and I looked at his channel.
You did a personal audit. Wow, Jeremy. Don't email Jeremy for personal audits. He will not do that on a regular basis, but you've seen this one before. So, Jeremy, what did you talk about during when you saw this channel in the past?
So, it's interesting. The Chops YouTube or YT really confused me. I didn't know what that meant, but I definitely got comedy videos. The first thing I would say on the banner itself is comedy videos should be bigger than videos every Friday.
Yep.
And then Chops is the biggest. So it should be, whatever the channel's about, and then what the channel is, and then the schedule. So from a hierarchy perspective, the actual new videos on Friday should be way smaller than comedy videos.
Right.
Kind of confusing visually unless you kind of have hierarchy to it. The next thing I look at is it just reminds me of TikTok. Kind of weird random things happening, very TikTok-ish type of content. He responded reaction videos, question videos. My first question to the creator is, how are you doing on these other platforms like Instagram and TikTok?
Yep.
My second question is, with 30-second, 29-second, 1-minute videos, are they long enough, to actually do well on YouTube? And then my next question is, should you do long format content on YouTube that matches the intent of what people are searching for?
Yep, absolutely. I think this is a big question a lot of video creators sometimes struggle to answer, in that they're used to another platform, and how do they translate that content to YouTube? And sometimes that can be compiling some of your TikTok style content into 3-4 minute compilations, or there's kind of like one episode or event, but then you sort of build the story around how it happened, the behind the scenes, as part of the YouTube video. So ChopsYT, it looks like you've got double audit fun there. We hope you found that useful. Now we're going to look at Optizer, channel with 5,000 subscribers here. And what I see here is, if I scroll down a little bit, we see content with no thumbnails, which is spectacular. Thank you, internet. You've really helped me out there. Oh, there we go. It's working now. So a lot of thumbnails which seem to be screenshots from a particular game. And I think just as we get to the top here, Jeremy, the channel has found a little bit more focus and I think, strangely enough, it's the consistency of the fonts here which gives the channel some branding and consistency. And now it looks as if they're focusing on Rainbow Six as a particular game. And with 5,000 subscribers, look at how consistent their view counts are. Really strong. You go down to a couple of, like at the beginning of the year, they're getting hundreds of views, maybe 1,000 views here and there. But now in the last 6 months, they've really been focusing on one type of video, and it's doing really well for them. Again, the question I'm always going to ask is, your consistency seems to be all over the shop in terms of gaming. Usually channels are maybe doing 1 or 2 videos a week. You seem to be doing 1 or 2 videos a month. Can you up that consistency? Because there's definitely an audience there. People coming and watching your content. They probably just want to see more, and you'd grow your channel a lot faster. Anything to add here, Jeremy, as a gaming channel, or other than, I think the thumbnail evolution has got to a point where it's really quite strong
yeah,
now.
I just want to let everyone know, like, when I say arrows work, when I say consistency in actual topography and text works, using a word like insane doesn't just repeat the title, and it's a lot more intriguing. Not showing exactly what's happening is a lot more intriguing. So these are phenomenal thumbnails. I'm not going to say that they're consistent enough for me to know it's this channel, but individually these thumbnails are phenomenal. One thing that's interesting to me is like best control sensitivity 2019 with 19,000 views. You probably are really onto something there. I would triple down on these types of, sensitivity videos and do like 10 or 20 videos similar to this.
It's interesting you say that. I'm always being asked this question. Like, I play Fortnite, and how do I find my niche? And these like tips and tricks, advice, strategy guides, where it's going to something into really detail, like the sensitivity on a console sensitivity. Like, you wouldn't think that would get 20,000 views, but it has. Chances are, as Jeremy says, if you do another 2 or 3 videos on that, YouTube will get to a point where they're going to say, this channel here is focusing on this particular topic, and it's bringing in views for the platform. If they do any more content on that particular topic, we're just going to send it straight to the top of the search rankings, and they're going to get loads of views from it. Now, again, as always, this is a question, but I don't want to be pigeonholed as just doing one thing all the time. In the eyes of YouTube and your audience, sometimes that's what they want. They want to rely on you as a trustworthy piece of information for a particular thing on a particular game, and that's where you can really capitalize. So I think well recognized there, Jeremy. Good stuff on that one. Let's move on to the next channel, which is Wiki Pamela. Just over 1,000 subscribers for you. Delicious, easy, plant-based food. All right, Jeremy, I'm going to ask you a simple question. I'm going to ask this to the audience as well. Do you like this big white blob in all of the thumbnails? Yes or no? Jeremy, what do you think?
Can I have more than just yes or no?
Yes.
I like it, but less text.
Right. Okay. So what, we're thinking maybe shrink it down or keep the size the same, but like one or two words.
Yeah,
max
like tofu.
Okay.
Easy tofu or something like that.
Okay, so you would happily keep it in, but I think maybe this is a good example here. We've got a really nice shot of a mushroom Wellington. Wow, I never knew what a mushroom Wellington looked like.
Imagine if easy was like double the size and then just mushroom. Or Wellington, and then you showed mushrooms.
Easy mushroom. It sounds like, I don't know, like some
easy.
Sort of
but yeah, you got what I'm saying.
Yeah. Generally, thumbnails pretty good. Would you say here, like some nice hero shots of the food? I would say, like
they're great. I would just say the food should be bigger. Like the pumpkins, you can see the pumpkins are phenomenal because they're like full screen.
Yeah. Whereas this one here, I can't. This to me looks like a bird with a strange hat on its head, but it's actually a fish.
Yeah,
which is a bit strange there. Sorry, guys. After an hour's live stream, that's how my mind works sometimes on thumbnails that I'm looking at. Any point in having Wiki Pamela in the top left-hand corner here? Is that too much text? Yeah,
couldn't even see it.
Maybe needs a bit of a graphic there. Now we've criticised the channel a lot here. So, what is the channel doing right, Jeremy? Would you say like good channel focus? I would say.
All in all, recipes. The thumbnails are phenomenal. There's just you can always improve your thumbnails. The titles are phenomenal, but what I would say about the titles is they're probably too short for a channel of this size.
Yeah, and anything to pick up here from the most successful videos here? Okay, there's one about preschool learning. That seems to be a bit of an anomaly video, which isn't attached to food. But everything else, there's some haul videos here. I've seen vegan twice in titles in the top results here. So maybe including vegan a bit more potentially, and then another vegan there. And also Dollar Tree haul seems to be what your most successful videos are as well. So just maybe look at them at Wiki Pamela. And another moderator here. This bites for you. Thank you for all of your fantastic work you do on the chat, on the live streams. Whenever we go live, you're always here looking after our comments. As for the channel, though, looks to be a tech channel, Jeremy, but I can't really work out what type of tech it's for, given the thumbnails. I think they're perhaps maybe the weakest part of this channel. Would you agree? You seem a bit like either freeze frames from the videos or bits where text has just been lobbed onto a screenshot without really, giving it too much thought. What do you think here? Look, and 3,500 subscribers and view counts fairly low. How can we get this channel to do better?
Yeah, all in all, I would say we got to rethink your whole thumbnail strategy. I think there's just too much stuff. The hero's not big enough. There's not typically an intriguing reason to click, like an arrow or something to guide my eye to know what's happening. You having your name, This Bites for You, it probably doesn't matter on the titles. Giving on the titles, the SEO is good, but you don't necessarily always have a good reason to click.
Yeah, good point there. I'm just going to try and work out where your subscribers have come from. 3,500 subscribers, some Pokemon stuff here. Installing stuff on Windows and graphic card unboxing seem to be where you're strongest, I would say, right now. But let's just stop here for a second. That is probably the best thumbnail, I would say, from all of yours. The text still needs a little bit of work, but it's just very clear, very focused on something very simple, a portable battery charger. But that made me stop looking at your other thumbnails just because it stood out more than anything else. Anything else there, Jeremy? Oh, yeah, we're thinking like thumbnail strategy and niching down a little bit.
Yeah, focusing more on specific things and then giving more of a reason to click on the title. So, a phrase is not enough in itself. A Logitech Brio Ultra HD program, maybe you should say something like 7 reasons to not buy the Logitech Brio Ultra Cam HD.
There you go. A more compelling, more clickable type of thumbnail. Folks, the music has started, which means that we are coming to an end here on our live stream. Jeremy, I think your camera is broken. I can't see you.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not going to switch back to you. So I'm going to leave your face on screen. But Jeremy is still here. I can't see his camera. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure for you to spend your time here with us this week. We hope you found it valuable. If you did, make sure to reciprocate that love in the comments, but also in the likes or dislikes if you didn't enjoy this live stream. But make sure to subscribe to vidIQ if you haven't already done so, and share this live stream with like-minded people. I always do shout-outs, and I've got my Livestream Chat up and running now. So I'm going to say goodbye to the following people that include Johan Z Cubing. Thank you for being the first channel audited and sticking around for the entire live stream to get advice from other channels. That's fantastic. Vape Underground, Super User Tech Mods, thank you. As always, Toilet Master, that is a really weird username. Jeremy Vess, also goodbye to you. I see you're posting in the chat there. Mr. No Breaks, Classy Beats, Star Vipers also here saying goodbye. Backwards Land, are you going to say backwards in reverse? That would be fantastic if you could. And Jeremy, who else are we saying goodbye to here on the live stream this week?
Yeah, we're saying goodbye to Jerst, the 360 Tour, App Monkey, all of our moderators. Thank you so much for what you do. Soul Spawn, Matt Made Status Daily, Burn It Down, Ben B Gaming, and that's all I got.
And we will be back with another live stream channel audit next week. And I always end my live streams by saying the following. Time is one of the most important currencies in the world, and you just spent that with us. We thank you for that, and we hope we've paid you back with some value. Think of that when you make your next video. I would tell you to wave, Jeremy, but we can't see you on camera. So I'll just say to everybody, enjoy the rest of your video making day. Bye for